Hold on to those retirement years. Live it, love it, enjoy it.
The world thought
Oh,
the
yeah.
fighting was slowing down, the U.S.-Iran conflict has erupted again. And this time, the battlefield isn't just about missiles, it's about cutting off strategic supply routes. One of the biggest targets, a crucial railway bridge that connects Iran with China and Russia. In the early hours of today, the United States reportedly struck the Og Teke Khan railway bridge in Iran's Golestan province using cruise missiles. This isn't just another bridge, it's part of the China-Turkmenistan-Iran rail corridor. It is situated on the western outskirts of Akkala in Golestan province on the Inche-Barun-Turkmenistan railway route. The route supports freight traffic as part of China's Belt and Road Initiative and
Hello, my friends. Hello, hello. I wonder how everybody's doing. It's a brand new day, and thank God for this brand new day. I'll walk this way. It's a brand new day, a brand new breeze, and brand new sun. Well, everything is new today. Everything is new. Thank God. I hope you're doing fine, and I hope you're going for your walks. Sometimes you can get really lazy. I mean, sometimes the mind and the body are not coordinating at all. The mind say, get out and get your morning walk or your evening walk. And the body says, nope, I can't do it today. I'm in too much pain or something. But thank God I am up and about and I'm going for my walk. My wife is on vacation, so when she gets back, she's gonna say, did you go for your walk? Of course I can't lie. So I can boldly said yes. I went for my daily walks. Yeah, but anyway, this morning, what can we talk about? Talk about politics. Talk about, what can we talk about? Because as you know, that the entire world is in an uproar. The entire economy, every country is going through some real tough time right now. Real tough times, and honestly, the tough times that many of these countries, especially the smaller countries like the islands or smaller countries, are going through, it's all caused by bigger economies who decide that they for one thing or the other, they decide to cause problem. And the problem that they're causing does not sit only in their area, in their region, in their space. The problem is distributed to every person who honestly trying to make their daily living, honest daily living, not bullying anyone and not stealing anyone, but honest daily living. But now we see that some countries, some people, some country leaders, so-called leaders who believe that they are leaders. I'm not sure how they became leaders Well, you don't have to be educated and you don't have to be skillful. I guess, as we can see, that you can bully your way or lie your way to leadership. And being a leader is not just by name only. A leader has to know how to lead. And we see that many of these leaders, so-called leaders, present themselves as bully, or the bully in the schoolyard. Represent themselves as they have the big guns, so you have to do as they say. But that's not leadership. And it really hurts. It really hurts. Well, I'm telling you, I'm surprised. I am walking. I didn't even realize I reached to where I wanted to go. Normally, it would take a good 20 minutes, but I was walking so fast. I'm talking. I didn't even realize that I'm there. I am here. Yeah, so as I was saying, that honestly, there are many countries, many leaders who are struggling, smaller nations, and honestly really want to lead their people to prosperity, but they can't do it because they have to depend on these bigger economies. And the bigger economies don't know how to even lead goats to the field. Well, my friend, good morning again. Actually, it's not morning; it's way past morning. But I'm just used to this good morning thing. But anyway, I was talking about war and peace a little earlier, and I talked. We have discussion with family members about what's going on and how we have to really draw near to Christ, draw near to God, because it seems like the confusion of leadership, the confusion of the world is needs sincere prayers, people who can pray for peace, can pray that God step in and bring about peace until the Father decide to take his creation, bring about sensibility to these leaders. So, as I have said before to folks, that I have never heard from the beginning of creation heard of any war that brought about peace, lasting peace. And if you think that when you fought with your neighbors and you come to an agreement to stop the war, if you think your neighbors has hidden the causation, block it out of their minds, you are so wrong. It's always there. So strife will always be there because there was a rupture in relationship and a dishonesty or whatever it was. But once that trust is broken, war will always be at the back of the mind. The war will always be there. So the whole world is at war, whether it's tariff war, neighbors bombing neighbors, or faraway big countries, bullies are bombing smaller countries. But we are all at war. We are at war in our spirit because other countries threaten us and we don't feel safe anymore. So you can't be at ease, even though you're saying, God is in control of it. But the human part of you is saying, how long will we contend with these rogue leaders? So I'm going through unscripted. I'm just going through and just telling, having a conversation as I've had with my family before. I'm just having a conversation with you and say, what would be your dialogue if you were in front of all of these rogue leaders? I'm talking about these big countries that their leaders don't know how to lead. What would you say to them? Well, I tell you what, this would be my message to them, that war equals destruction, hate equal confusion, leads to strife, and then also lead to war, and peace equal prosperity. So which one would you choose? Be honest. Which one would you choose? If war equal destruction and everywhere you go is destruction because somebody decide to bomb up his neighbor's bridges or his neighbor's water purification plants or electrical their generators generating electrical generating system, how does that make you prosperous? How does that make you prosperous? There are people who believe that the doomsday is very close at hand. But I say, you know what? I'm not worried about that doomsday because God has not given that power over to man. That's what I know for sure. He will continue to destroy what he has built, but he can't destroy the entire creation. Because Jesus already said it in Matthew 24 that no man knows when God is coming back to take his chosen people out of this sinful world. And if that since that statement is true, then that means that man has a boundary. He cannot destroy the entire creation as much as he's bullying his neighbors. He can't destroy the entire creation. And I'm telling you that. So I am looking at these leaders, and I'm saying God knows how these leaders got into position of leadership. And all of those leaders who are right now in leadership and previous leaders who could not lead their country and their neighbors into prosperity, they were not even able to lead their own family into prosperity and peace themselves. These leaders, to be a leader, I think there should be some kind of training. People shouldn't just vote for you because your name is so and so and they believe in you, and because you could be stupid. You could be as dumb as a doornail. You could be very stupid. People shouldn't just vote for people. I believe that they should be educated and well versed in what is peace, proven that you can run a business successfully, and there should be boundaries to these leaders. But that's my 2 cents. That is part of my 2 cents that I'm putting in. Now, for example, now you have a leader down south that believe that he should bomb another country into submission. I said, this is what we want out of you. This is what we desire out of you. This is what we have. Comply or we bomb you. How does that work? It will never end. How does that work? And to get into, honestly, we listen to politics. All of us, we listen to politics. And I'm one that is to condemn. All condemnation belongs to God. He knows the heart. But I am saying honestly, if you look at, for example, Iran was there. Iran was there minding his own business um, for many years, over 40 odd years. Never attempted to destroy his neighbor, to send rockets across to his neighbors, to their neighbors. And they were trying to build bridges, to build prosperity, to build off what the previous year had destroyed. They were trying to build. Nobody say Iran is an angel. Iran is no angel. But Iran probably have legitimate cause not to be an angel. They will come and they will say, we were bullied into be who you think we are. So, because you think that you have the great nuclear bomb, and you have your rockets that can go miles and they're very accurate, and you think you're a god, should say gods, because the whole bunch of leadership who believe that they should bomb their neighbor, bomb distant countries into getting what they want, have to be thinking that they're greater than the Almighty God. And I can't understand it. So you can't get into a dialogue. Okay, you don't want this country because you call that country rogue, even though that country has never attacked your country. But you said this is a rogue nation. This is a country that is monstrous, country that terrorists and create terrorists, terrorist cells and all these nonsense. And they themselves will turn around and say, you created us. So if we are terrorists, then you created us. And he who create terrorism, what would you call them? So you believe that you can bomb the country that is there trying to create prosperity for themselves, and you believe that you can bomb them into submission to do whatever you ask. How is that going to work under this God great heaven? Greener under this God's blue sky? How do you expect that to work? Peace equal prosperity, war, destruction, and hate doesn't lead to peace. Hate will never lead to peace. So let's back up. Let's back up again and see, how did you get into position? And then you have some people argue that God is teaching some of these nations a lesson at the expense of the destruction of other nations. So God is teaching, let's say, the U.S. a lesson, because they have strayed from Him. So He's going to bring them to their knees, but so that's why this leader is, well, this is what people are saying. The only reason why this leader is there now is because God always have a plan. And this could be God's plan to bring this country into line with what is right. Right? So even though they are destroying other nations, but this is what God's plan is. So anyway, that is one conversation I've had. And I would like you to honestly, I'd like these leaders to honestly look at themselves and see, look at themselves, right? And see what war has brought over years of history of the humanity, what war has brought. So if this is God's will, then it must go on until God says, till God bring it to an end. At the same time, I'm just going to bring out another point that I know that God wished for us to prosper. Paul even says, above all things, he just wished for us to prosper. Now, for example, you have a country like the United States talking about finding faults with, let's say, China. China is also a rogue country, or China is the danger to the world. Meanwhile, China is holding their fort. China is building bridges. China is signing new deals because they I think they've seen the light. They've seen the light that war does not bring peace and war does not bring prosperity. So China has seen the light, and China is being envied by many countries because they are working towards a goal, and the goal is building bridges, not breaking down bridges, not creating fire, uncontrollable fire in the wilderness, in around their neighbors, to burn down their neighbors and then burn themselves down. They are being constructive. So I am saying, I'm not asking that China is perfect. China is not perfect. And no country is perfect. But if you have a smart leader who will look at his country first and say, you know what? I am here to bring prosperity to my people. And when I bring prosperity to my people, my neighbors will also prosper because we are going to trade in peace. We're going to trade with dignity. We're going to have respect for each other. And that will bring prosperity. But then when you sit there as a big country and you tariff the whole world and want the whole world to bring all their goods free to your country and said, we are the big bullies and we need your gold, or we need your bulls and your bullocks, or your heifer and all of your wives and cattle and young men and women, bring them in. We need all of them. And you want everything for free. How do you expect that to work? Is that practical in this big old complicated world? And then you have Ukraine. I'm just, as I said, it's unscripted. I'm just talking what's on my mind here. You have Ukraine there being at peace with her neighbor, and the neighbor has to say, well, you know what? You're not a country. I don't recognize you as a country, and I'm going to bomb you to Hades. I'm going to bomb you to thy kingdom come, for better lack of words. Over 4 years, or close to 4 years, or over 4 years, the bombing and the destruction has been going on. Did it bring prosperity? This is my message. So why don't you, all of you leaders, these numbskull leaders that are there, need to, if God put them there, then God will have to find some way to get them out, right? So these leaders that are there, they need to evacuate the place, put educated people in that will beat their war machinery into plowshare, beat their war machinery into things that will make the country prosper. They are bombing from one day to the next, because you can build the destructive devices. You feel you can use them on your neighbors without repercussion, without thinking this is those are people that's blood and flesh and blood like yourself, and you're bombing them from day until night without any repercussion. And the people who are alive and hearing your gunshot asking how long, and asking God to come to their aid. But you know what? People have to, we on earth, we have to, as I said, that it's time for us to really pray hard for peace for our neighbors, and to bring peace to even those who have the heart of no heart. Those who have no heart, they have no heart. So, but prayer changes things. That's the whole thing now. Prayer changes things, because I know the bombs are dropping at, and when the bombs are dropping at you, you're gonna ask, where is my God? But God is always there. But we as a people have to come to Him. We have to draw near to God, and He will draw near to us. God is always there. He has never left. It's very upsetting. It's very upsetting to see that these leaders who got into power using lies and deception to climb the ladder up, and hiding behind a lot of hate and sorcery and warmongering and a lot of nastiness. They need to vacate. They need to vacate, and I believe if the world got down into prayer, things will start to happen. Draw close to God. This is coming back again. Draw close to God, and He will hear our prayers. So these reckless and godly wars, all they're doing is promoting other countries to start looking for ways to build their nuclear devices, arm themselves, because the same country that is blowing up Iran and saying you can't have a nuclear weapon, they have the nuclear weapon and threatening to use their nuclear weapon. So Iran asks the question, why shouldn't we have a nuclear weapon? It's not like you're Iran's daddy. It's not like you're the daddy of the whole world. So each individual country is independent and should be respected. This is how I see it. And to promote peace, you can't bully your neighbors. To promote prosperity, you have to work with those around you. You have to work with the entire world in unison. You have to work as one. You have to respect each other. How on earth you threaten to use your nuclear device on the other country, and they in turn should not have a nuclear device, or shouldn't have nuclear bombs? And it is very reckless. It's very reckless that countries teamed up against a country who was just, whether they have internal problems or not, every country have their own politics, their own not so perfect government, and then they have to deal with their own people. Let them deal with their own people the way they know best until they change their government. But you and others have to go in and want a change of government. The God of the US and the God of other places want to change every country on earth want to change our country to bow at their knees because they are loaded with nuclear bombs. They are loaded with rockets. They are loaded and they'll blow you up. But I tell you, God is not dead. And your leaderships are playing like you're gods and you're playing God. So who live and who die? God is not dead. And as I said, peace equal prosperity, war equal destruction, hate leads to strife, and then to war, and it's a circle of destruction. So why can't we live in peace? Why can't we live in peace? And I can't even name some. I even hate to call some countries' name because they're not worthy of their country, the name of their country. It is such disdain. It's not worthy to be uttered from my lips because they are filled with hate from top to bottom. They are filled with hate. These countries. The world don't need another Pharaoh. The world needs Moses. That's what the world needs. Now is not the time for war. It's a time for peace. It's a winding up time. It's a time that we over 2,000 years, according to some, 2,000 years of history. How many more years God will allow us to have on earth? We don't know. So that's why we should take these hints that too much war is going on. Take these hints of war and turn them into peace. Find a way to turn war around and live peaceable with your neighbors. God bless you. Take care. And I'm thanking you for listening. And please leave a like, share to as many as you can. Get them to the highest, get this video up to the highest leadership. And subscribe. And as I said, leave a like, please. Thank you very much. And let's see if we can bring about peace. Even if we don't have enough time, but let's have time for peace. God bless. Hold on to those retirement years. Live it. Love it. Enjoy it.